All right, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, and peace and blessings to the elect worldwide. Um, I have another edition of GMS News and Prophecy pertaining to the mark of the beast. Um, More so the mark of the beast, but it's news and prophecy as well. Um, I have a couple of articles um, that I want to go into. That's basically dealing with how we're moving closer and closer to the chip, the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, being brought to the mainstream, brought to the forefront as far as new technology is concerned. All right, I have an article here from companiesandmarkets.com. It's entitled "Global Human Augmentation Market player Kaspersky partners with BioNifican to prevent biohacking." It says the global human augmentation market may only be in its early development stage at the moment. However, now what it means by global human augmentation meaning augmenting or changing the human body globally, humans all over the world with technology. Okay, basically um, turning people into uh, cyborgs, so to speak, by implanting them with different technologies. Now, there's different news stories and things that's come about dealing with uh, these uh, these amputees gaining robotic limbs. And they're pushing that out in the news uh, to get you used to seeing uh, human beings using technology as an e- everyday device to replace missing limbs. All right. So that's dealing with the global human augmentation. All right. Now it says the global human augmentation market may only be in its early development stage at the moment. However, there are still numerous safety and security concerns over the application of technologies in this market. All right, and that's basically what the article is going into, but it's going to lead to more more things coming out. It says Kaspersky Labs, a security company, have recently announced a partnership with Swedish implant firm BioNifican, which most of you know by now about the Swedish company that implanted its employees with the microchip. So now they're going further along with this technology, and they're building up its security and making it more so-called safe for humans to use. It says a security company says have recently announced a partnership with Swedish implant firm BioNifican, which is hoped to investigate the top security issues that wearable augmentation products have. Uh, it says recent months have seen a very small but growing number of people across the world who have received implants such as NFC or RFID, uh, which is basically the same thing. NFC is near field communications, and RFID is radio frequency identification. So it's really going to be all combined together into the chips that they're getting ready to put into people. It says such as NFC or RFID chips into their bodies. Of course, the current threat from so-called biohacking is minimal. The near future may see more people augmenting themselves with new technologies. Like I mentioned about now, you see these amputees; they're getting these different limbs. Uh, It says the global human augmentation market is forecast to grow at a CAGR of 43% from 2014 to 2020, with sales expected to total US 1,135 million by 2020, which clearly shows how much this market is rapidly growing in size. All right, so basically, as time goes on and these different developers and these different researchers and these different technology companies start to develop RFID, NFC, microchip technology, and they can put you to the forefront and make it uh, more convenient and safe for people to use. All right. Now I want to jump down in the article to a key point. Uh, it says there are a number of key factors that are causing the global human augmentation market to grow at such a fast pace, including new applications in the defense and healthcare industry. Here in America, we got Obamacare. All right. And they got the defense. Different military amputees can now regain their limbs by um, these different robotic limbs, okay, to keep them fighting, to keep them more um, uh, up to pace with the rest of the normal soldiers um, in the battle. So the defense industry, like the Pentagon, and also the healthcare industry. All right, what you're seeing with the once again the amputees getting these different bio limbs, like these or these cyborg limbs, like these arms and these different legs. Okay, it says, however, the technology in this market is still relatively undeveloped, and it will be many years before individuals can easily access human augmentation products. But that's what they foresee. But the Most High, Yahweh Shai, Shai, He's going to speed the time up. It says many people also have strong ethical and social objections to human augmentation, which may hamper this market in the medium to long term. All right. It says wearable augmentation products are most popular in North America, with the eyewear, wristwear, footwear, and bodywear segments controlling the largest share. It says major players in the global human augmentation market dealing with augmenting your body, not just wearable products, but actually implantable technologies, okay, are Google, Samsung, and BrainGate Company. With this market being highly competitive, the inbuilt augmentation products are currently not as sought after as the wearables. Like you got the Apple Watch, you got these Samsung got a watch, you know, but they also have inbuilt augmentation products, which is basically the brain chip. That's what the BrainGate company is about. Okay, these different over the head VR, virtual reality headpieces and stuff like that. Okay, but these same companies, they have the wearable technology, which you see on the commercial all the time. You can wear it with this, and you can add apps to this, and they can link to this phone and all of that. They also have things to implant inside your body as well. So it says the inbuilt augmentation products are currently not as sought after as the wearables due to a lack of skilled professionals that can cost effectively implant these products. So you're going to have Google coming out with implantable technology. Samsung, like it says here, the BrainGate company. Okay? Now, another thing about Google and Samsung to prove that they're moving forward with these different technologies. All right. Like I said, it's all leading to the chip. Okay. Cause speaking of Google and Samsung, I have an article here. All right. Because the chip is not just going to be for medical or defense purposes. It's going to be for payment as well. Okay. But to lead up to that, all right, I have another article here, which is microchips will be implanted into healthy people sooner than you think, and this is from August 2014, right? But when I read it, I noticed some key things in it. Okay, so it says in March 2009, British researcher Mark Gasson had a chip injected under the skin of his hand. The chip, a slightly more advanced version of the tags used to track pets, turned Gasson into a walking swipe card. So once Googling all these different companies and these different biotechnology companies start moving forward with this chip, it's also going to turn into a swipe card. So there's a credit card, all right, or anything like that. It says with a wave of his wrist, he could open security doors at the University of Reading Laboratory, where his experiment was being conducted, and he could unlock his cell phone just by cradling it. Cradling it. Scroll down here. It says thousands of Americans already have implanted medical devices, including pacemakers, which are inserted into the chest to treat abnormal heart rhythms, and cochlear implants, which help deaf people to hear. But the future, Gasson says, is going to focus on implantable technology for healthy people. So it's going to move past like I said, move past the defense and the medical industry. All right. It says part of the reason is that we continually look for ways to make our lives easier. The question is whether we're willing to accept both the unintended and unknown consequences that come with giving up partial control of our bodies to technology. With that's what the whole um, security updating the whole security thing on it is about, which I read in the last article. All right, to 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 take out the unknowns. So it says human versus machine. Implantable microchips provide a more intimate connection with technology than that of any other portable electronic device like a cell phone or iPod, because the tag becomes a direct part of us when it's inserted into our body. Augmentation, body augmentation. They want to push that market out there now. It says implants have the potential to change the very essence of what it is to be human, such as a term that's called transhuman. All right. Gasson said at a 2012 TDDX talk, the susceptibility of human microchips to cyber attacks is one worry, but Gasson wanted to explore issues beyond common concerns related to privacy and security. That's why he conducted the experiment in 2 stages. All right, I'm gonna scroll down some more. I'm just gonna get the meat out of this, and I'm gonna post the links up. This is from the subtitle, "What is an RFID implant?" And you see the images here. All right. It says a close-up of the implant device next to a matchstick. The microchip encased in glass is about the size of a grain of rice. Now, this is the key point I wanted to get into right around here. It says RFID stands for radio frequency identification. The chip doesn't have its own battery, powered instead by a reader that pulls information out of the chip. The reader gets the chip's unique ID number, all right, and I'm going to get the script on that, and then cross-references it to a database. RFID chips are found in lots of things we use every day, including credit cards. So you have the chip in your credit card now. So the RFID chips are already being coupled along with payment options. Not just defense, not just healthcare, all right? Because now they say they want to push it into healthy people, all right? Healthy people, you know, they'll use it for other things, such as buying and selling, all right? It says similar, if not creepier, technology is currently at work in things like Disney World's Magic Band. It says which tracks or where its location within the park and connects to that person's accounts. So it's GPS, and it connects to your Disney account when you're at the park, according to a recent Medium post. These technologies have been useful not just for the company, but for park guests, and makes their experience seamless. And that's how they're going to start pushing it. It says these technologies are also being used for payment services. All right, and this is clear cut. All right, for those of the IUIC that don't believe, all right, that the mark of the beast, and others that don't believe the mark of the beast is a microchip. All right, basing it just off of GPS. All right, it says these technologies are also being used for payment services. It says some people use Google Wallet and tap to pay services to pay using their phones at stores and in cabs instead of whipping out their wallet or carrying all their cards with them. The Hilton, which is the Hilton hotels, the famous Hilton hotels, just recently announced a feature to replace key cards at its hotels. Guests will use an app to access their room. It says as these technologies get more advanced and their uses get more varied, so you're going to have more varied uses for these technologies, man. Alright, it says why would we be carrying a phone around when we could do all these things with a swipe of the hand? And that's what they're getting you prepped for. As you can see there, this guy's getting an implant, alright, in his hand. Scroll down some more. This guy's holding a chip up. Let's see. This guy, he opened the door with a microchip. See, he moved his hand towards the reader. Okay. Um, but that's the point. All right. Now, in the last article before this one, I read about Google and Samsung. Right. So I gotta, because it's all these companies are all gonna take the forefront here in America, because it talked about implantable technology not really being as popular in America. It's more so wearable. Where Google, Samsung, Apple, they're like at the forefront for wearable technology. But they also have plans to use the implantable body augmentation technology as well, the microchip. So it says Google partners with wireless carriers to push wallet service. It says Google Inc. has partnered with several large U.S. wireless carriers to pre-install its electronic payment service on phones as the company seek to counter Apple Inc.'s recent entry into the nascent market for mobile payments. So they're taking it one step at a time, but it's eventually going to lead to the microchip. And this is dated February 24th, 2015. So it's in the last 3 or 4 weeks. All right. uh, it says Google Inc. has partnered with several large U.S. wireless carriers to pre-install its electronic payment service on phones as the company seeks to counter Apple Inc.'s recent entry into the nascent market for mobile payments. AT&T Mobility, T-Mobile USA, and Verizon Wireless will include the Google Wallet app later this year on Android smartphones sold in the United States, Google said in a post on its official blog on Monday. All right, so that's what they're getting ready to do. Um, it says Google also said it has acquired technology from SoftCard, a mobile payment initiative that was created by many of the wireless carriers several years ago. The Google Wallet app stores a consumer's credit or debit card information and allows shoppers to pay for goods by tapping their phone against a special terminal at a retail store's checkout counter. Right? So that's basically what they're going into now, using these phones to pay for things, to locate you. All right? You can use your phone for anything now, man. Who needs a laptop when you have a cell phone with the internet? You know? Who needs you know, you can use your phone to instead of talking to a person that's far away, or well, instead of uh, uh, traveling to somebody that's far away, you can use your cell phone to use Skype or these different these video technologies on these phones, man, to basically have a conversation with somebody else miles away. So you can use a phone for anything, you know. Now that was Google. Now this is Samsung. All right. It says Samsung buys startup LoopPay moves toward mobile payments, and this is dated February 19th, 2015. All right, so about a month ago. It says Samsung Electronics Company Ltd. has bought U.S. mobile wallet startup LoopPay, signaling its intention to launch a smartphone payment service to compete with the recent offering from rival Apple Inc. All right. Let's see. It says mobile payments have been slow to catch on in the United States and elsewhere despite strong backing. Apple, Google, and eBay Inc.'s PayPal have all launched services to allow users to pay in stores via smartphones. Um, jump down here. It says LoopPay's technology differs because it works off existing magnetic stripe card readers at checkout, changing them into contactless receivers. They said about 90% of checkout counters already support magnetic swiping, so you can just use your Samsung phone now with this LoopPay. You know, instead of swiping your card, you can just wave your card over it, which eventually you're going to wave your hand over. It says if you can't solve the problem of merchant acceptance of being able to use the vast majority of your cards, then it can't really be your wallet, said David Yun, head of Samsung's Global Innovation Center. All right, jump down. It says he said new phones such as the upcoming latest Galaxy would support the service. All right, and that's the point. All right, so going back to the first article I went to, uh, global human augmentation market, right? It says here, it says major players in the global human augmentation market are Samsung, Samsung, and BrainGate Company, with this market being highly competitive. The inbuilt augmentation products are currently not as sought after as the wearables due to a lack of skilled professionals that can cost effectively implant these products. So now, like I said, Google supports implants, man. Samsung supports implants. Okay, I'm pretty sure Apple, all these companies. All right. I'm gonna read one more quick headline. This is Visa Europe plans new security that could pave way for Apple Pay. It says Visa Europe has announced a new, more secure way for consumers to pay retailers via smartphones, a move that could set the stage for Apple Pay and rival mobile payment services such as Google or Samsung to be introduced into Europe in the coming months. Now remember, this is a global augmentation market. So once they work out the security issues, the little kinks here and there, they get exactly what they want into these phones, okay? They're going to be presented worldwide, okay? Right, you see it says here, pay by tweet, okay? So I'm going to leave some links to these articles after I upload this video. But like I said, as you can see, they're taking baby steps toward really pushing out implantable technology, which is the microchip. So like I said, it says here in this article, microchips will be implanted in healthy people sooner than you think. The main point I wanted to get here was this. All right. It says as technologies get more advanced, okay. As technologies get more advanced and their uses get more varied, mobile payment, wearable technology, all of that, right? Why would we be carrying a phone around? Because these are top phone companies: Google, Apple, Samsung. All right. These, these these different services like eBay and Kindle and Amazon, they all partner with these mobile phone companies, right? So it says, why would we be carrying a phone around when we could do all these things with the swipe of the hand? So eventually, your phone and all of that is going to be in your hand, okay, inside your body. Everything you need, man. Okay, everything you need. So I'm gonna get the scripture. Let's go to the Blue Letter Bible, Revelation 13 and 14. All right, this is Revelation chapter 13. Revelation 13 and 14. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. The ones that deceiveth is the so-called white man, this power structure. All right. You got America, you got Europe, you got these different nations in the EU and NATO, the beast, the fourth beast. All right, that we're reading about here in Revelation. They're the ones that deceiving the world. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth, these different people out here globally, by the means of those miracles which he had power to do on the side of the beast. Those miracles are his technology, man. Whether it be his weaponry or whether it be these phones, these computers, all right, and ultimately this microchip, all right. It's so-called miracle, man. It's convenient, okay. It's going to be like magic, which it is magic on the left-hand side, okay, this technology, all right, which the Most High Yahweh Shai gave them to use, okay, to tap into. These miracles, they deceive the world into thinking that they really are righteous miracles, but it's just going to lead you to death, man, okay, because really they want to trap you in this new world order. So it says they deceiving you by the means of those miracles. It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast, you don't follow the New World Order, should be killed. That's why I said it's life or death. If you don't follow them and take this microchip and take heed to the demonic New World Order, they're going to kill you. But if you do follow them and take the chip and all of that, then Yahweh Shah is going to destroy you. All right? It says, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, and free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay? As you can see, it's showing the left hand here, but you know what, the devil, he tries to deceive you with these images. But the end all be all is that if you take the chip, okay, that's you accepting the New World Order anyway. Alright, but it says here, he's going to cause everybody to receive a mark in the right hand or in their foreheads, like the company Brain Gate, okay. It says, in that no man might buy or sell. That's why they're pushing these different payment apps and these cell phones now, to get you used to having using payment outside of cashless society. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And in one of the articles, it talked about a identifying number, RFID. That's the number of the beast. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and this number is 603 and that's dealing with the barcode. Okay, so if you take this chip from this damn devil, yo, eventually you're gonna be destroyed, man. All right, and I'm gonna get that scripture, but that's what Revelation the 13th chapter, mainly verses 15, 16 on down, is talking about this here. All right. So I'm gonna read Revelation, Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive that mark, his mark in his forehead or in his hand, that microchip, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name, that microchip, in the name of the New World Order. Alright? Verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints, the elect of Israel. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai. Alright? So they're slowly but surely moving forward with their their agenda. Okay? Slowly but surely. Alright? That's it, man. Like I say, it's a global thing, and it's a whole market behind it, man. Okay? Dealing with human augmentation, the Internet of Things, alright, which is all leading to the microchip. Okay? So with that, I'm gonna give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashman Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders that taught me this truth. Peace and blessing to the rest of the brothers worldwide. And with that, Lord willing, I'll see you on the next edition. And I'm gonna say shalom.